Today we're going to talk about what tough love has to do with self-love. My name is Deb Blum, and I'm a self-love and authenticity coach, and I'm really committed to helping women find inner peace and happiness. I mainly work with women who do too much and never feel like they're good enough. And in fact, I've created a membership group called Self-Love Base Camp, and it's for women who do too much, never feel like they're good enough, to finally feel like they are good enough and to feel like they're thriving, even when life isn't actually going the way that they were hoping it would go. So if that interests you, just check out selflovebasecamp.com. The link is below in the show notes. And let's talk about tough love. All right, so I am just going to give you one little narrow glimpse on this. Self-love work is so multifaceted. But one of the things that I do notice that happens sometimes when we talk about self-love is in those beginning stages of self-love work, it's often, especially with the women that I work with who tend to be very, very hard on themselves, it's really cutting ourselves a lot more slack and starting to tune into how we feel and to start to be guided a little bit more by what we want rather than what the external world is telling us we should do or should be. And so it's this journey toward self-exploration. And often what happens is we do get more in tune with what does and doesn't feel good. So feelings were never meant to be the guide, okay? I know some people talk about feelings and intuition and they're the guide and that's what your primary guide should be. I think everything's just information. Okay, so feelings, body sensations, thoughts, they're all super important and I don't want to discount them at all. But our feelings and our thoughts and our sensations in our bodies, they're often fleeting. And so we may feel like we don't want to do something right now, but that doesn't mean that we'll feel that in a couple minutes or an hour. But not only that, sometimes we have to do something that doesn't feel comfortable or easy because it's going to be in service to something that we want in our life. Like if you want to be a certain, say you want to be a doctor, you are going to have to do things that don't actually feel comfortable. A lot of things you're going to have to do. You're going to study hard. You're going to have to sometimes not get good sleep because you have to study. You're going to then have to be doing a residency and you're going to probably work a ton of hours. You're going to have to be constantly put in new situations that you're uncomfortable with and you're going to have to get comfortable with. You're going to make mistakes that you get embarrassed by. These are things that have to be done in order to be able to achieve your goal. So often what we do is we do it by kind of shutting off the body and the feelings and we just kind of cut off and we just power through. So it's this learning how to hold our whole experience, to be able to be present with our experience, but not let our experience hold us back from those things we want to achieve in life. So if you have a goal of maybe it's building a business or maybe it's a goal of raising children in some idea that you have, like maybe children who stand up for themselves or children who are, but I don't know. I'm having a hard time coming up with a good example. But if you have a vision for your family or a vision for you and your work or a vision for you to become a person who is a source for your own safety and happiness and inner peace, if you want something in the long term for yourself, it is incredibly likely that everything along the way, those steps, they are not going to always be comfortable. They are sometimes going to be hard. Sometimes they are going to be painful. And so if we only do what feels good, we won't get there. If we only honor the feelings that we have and we don't look at the bigger picture of what we're trying to get to and be courageous and push ourselves through some of these things and engage a little bit of tough love, we're not going to get there. So same goes for things like, waking up in the morning and just not feeling like doing something that needs to get done or that you committed to getting done. Sometimes we just have to take a few breaths, get centered, remember why we're doing the thing we're doing. Like, I really believe one of the most important things we need to do is not be hyper focused on the minute to minute feelings that we have. I mean, feel them, experience them, but don't let them be in the driver's seat. What's in the driver's seat is your bigger why, your bigger vision for yourself. Now, the bigger vision for yourself doesn't have to be some outwardly impressive thing. It can be that you're learning how to be more inwardly focused, for example. And so your practice might be a constant vigilance around the practice of turning inward. That might mean you have to say no to a lot of people because you don't have enough time and space in your life because you're so busy. So you might actually be reining things back in. It might be a time when you actually are more internally oriented. That's awesome. It's about being intentional with what you're wanting. So if it's about not letting the moment to moment feelings and desires for comfort and kind of like that sense of like, oh, I'm just too tired today. Okay, that might be true. But it might not mean that you have to cancel your entire day. You might be able to take a nap. It might be that you need to go for a walk. Tired doesn't mean do nothing. So it's how do you expand your view? So it's like when you have children who you want to love and honor and acknowledge the person that your child is, and also help them to become who they are, who they're here to be, live into their potential. So you have to be holding both, and that's where tough love comes in. So there's the gentle, absolute, like radically accepting, love yourself every single moment where you are. Follow kind of like those inner feelings. That's really a very important thing, as long as it's balanced with kind of truth telling to yourself. Like, we're never going to get to that place if we don't do this. Like, I don't feel like working out right now, but can you I've talked in other videos about parts, like, can that part that doesn't want to do it right now, maybe the other part that knows and remembers the goals and has a little tough love says to that part, like, hey, listen, I know you don't really want to do it right now, but let's just put your sneakers on and see if that gets you feeling a little bit more motivated. So then together, put our sneakers on. That part's kind of like, I still don't really want to go, but I'm a little bit closer to going. Then this part over here, but remember, we really want to be healthy and strong because we want to be able to go do those hills. When we're out mountain biking, we want to be able to do those hills and make it and keep up with everybody else. Or maybe it's like, I really want to lower my cholesterol and be a healthy person in the long run. And so then we talk to that part and okay, we'll go, we'll get in the car and we'll go. And if we're not enjoying the workout, we can leave in 10 minutes, and you kind of keep guiding yourself along the journey. You don't stop doing things because they don't feel good. All right. That's the tough love part of this. You must have tough love and discipline. Discipline's probably the word for it. Discipline's not about not anything bad. Discipline's not bad. Discipline is beautiful. How do we balance discipline with kindness? How do we discipline ourselves to do things, but without it being a cutting off? And also just making sure you're not doing the things that other people are expecting from you. So much of self-love and authenticity is about being discerning about, like, whose is this? Am I working out because, am I doing, bike riding because I like bike riding, or because someone else told me that it's a good thing to do and they like doing it, and so I'm somehow like thinking I should do that? Or, are you learning to play an instrument because somehow you had it in your head that you were going to learn how to play that instrument, but deep down inside you don't even like it and you try to force yourself doing it? For God's sakes, either find an instrument you do like, or maybe music isn't for you, or maybe you like to listen to music but not play music, or maybe you would like to dance. Find your way and then go for it. Okay? Thanks. I hope this was helpful for you. I would love for you to like the video if you like it. And please, as always, if you haven't already subscribed and you like these videos, please subscribe and click the bell and you'll be notified when I drop new videos. I am not a consistent video creator. I tend to create videos in bulk. And so I can't tell you to come here every Monday and there'll be a new video. So if you subscribe, you'll know. And also, if you can share this with another person that you think might love it, please do that.